On the eve of the wedding, my face was finally fully restored. It had been disfigured while saving Lu Han. Overjoyed, I ran to find him only to accidentally see him escorting my housekeeper's daughter to the obstetrics and gynecology department. After the doctor's visit, Shinzaini, with a seductive look in her eyes, pulled Lu Han into the ultrasound room. Brother Hichuan, we haven't tried it in a place like this before. With people coming and going outside, just thinking about it is so thrilling. Sister Jen Yen is quite conservative. She would absolutely never accompany you to a place like this. The baby is very stable now. I've learned a few new positions. Brother Huan, don't you really want to try them? Shut up, how dare you make fun of Nyan like that? Lu Haichuan scolded verbally, but the sounds of their intimate panting could be heard from inside. My blood ran cold, freezing me to the bone. The man who had always cherished me had long been entangled with another woman. Even fathering a child with her, the beautiful future I had once dreamed of, had turned into icy daggers stabbing straight through my heart. I had no intention of telling Lu Han that my cheek had healed, nor did I plan to marry him anymore. Turning around, I sent a message to Lu Han's uncle Lu Kitchen. Does your offer to marry me still stand? He replied instantly, forever valid, I do. 2 hours and 17 minutes later, Lu Han finally emerged from the ultrasound room, carrying Shinzaini in his arms with a look of utter satisfaction. As if punishing myself, I followed them all the way, trailing behind the pair, until they arrived in front of a familiar villa. The moment the door opened, a crowd of people rushed out. All of Lu Haichuan's close friends from the past now cheering excitedly around the two of them. Congratulations to sister-in-law and Huan. Brother Huichuan is about to become a dad-to-be. What wonderful news, truly wonderful. I stared in shock at the lively celebration before me, and the next moment Mother Lu actually walked out of the villa. Don't let Sine tire herself out, hurry inside and rest. Sine is truly impressive, getting pregnant early with my Lu family's first grandson. I say you should quickly break off that engagement with that ugly wretch and marry Sine instead. How much better that would be. Lu Hua's close friend also nodded in agreement. That's right, Brother Hichuan. You're just too sentimental and kind-hearted. She saved you, but that was her own choice. Just compensate her with some money. Why force yourself to marry that ugly freak? Covering her face with a veil all day, too afraid to show herself. How can she compare to our beautiful and sweet sister? Brother Huan, you really need to think this through. Taking such an ugly freak out in public will only make people laugh at you. Lu Han listened to these words and nearly furrowed his brows slightly. Nyan got disfigured to save me. Don't say such things again. And don't let her hear any of this. Those people still spoke of me with contempt. Then egged Lu Han on to propose to Shinzaini. Lu Han gazed tenderly at Shinzaini beside him, took out a ring from his pocket, knelt on one knee, and looked at her with deep affection. Sinai, though I can't openly and formally marry you, in my heart you are also my wife. Shine's face was filled with emotion, and the two shared a deep kiss amidst the crowd's teasing. I turned away in despair, glanced at the villa's nameplate, and then entered the one next door. Lu Han has such a cruel heart. The villa where he keeps his mistress is actually right next to our marital home. He even replicated all the designs from our marital home, unaware that every single item inside was carefully selected by me for our wedding. Each piece carries my heart's blood and hopes for a future. The pain was so intense I could barely breathe. Luan, the love of my life, whom I'd willingly die to save. Mother Lu, who tearfully thanked me after learning I'd saved him. All those people who respectfully called me sister-in-law with reverent faces behind my back. They actually wore such hideous masks. The phone suddenly rang. It was Lu Kitchen calling. His voice carried a note of cautious hesitation. Do you really want to marry me, Nyan? You're not joking with me? Before I could answer, he added, no, even if it's a joke, I'm taking it seriously. You can't back out now. I'm currently abroad, but I'm flying back tonight. We're getting engaged tomorrow. He spoke in a tone that seemed afraid I might change my mind and run away. Hearing his words, both domineering and tender, I stopped crying and smiled. Lu Kitchen, I'm serious. I don't want that scoundrel Lu Han anymore. It was late into the night when Lu Han finally returned, his face brimming with an irrepressible smile of happiness. Nin Yen, there was an important social engagement tonight, and I had a few too many drinks, which is why I'm back so late. Yen, why are you crying? Lu Han rushed to my side, his face filled with heartache. To avoid revealing that the scars on my face had already healed, I was still wearing a veil at this moment. Lu Han reached out to remove my veil. Does the wound on your face hurt again? Tears will make it hurt more if they flow onto the wound. Don't cry. Don't cry, let me blow on it for you, my dear. Half a year ago, after that fire, when I woke up, Lu Han was lying by my hospital bed, his eyes red from crying as he looked at the wounds on my face with heartache. After being discharged from the hospital, I didn't leave the house for several months. He knew I cared about others, opinions, so he personally designed and customized many veils for me. The styles were beautiful, not only covering floors but also enhancing my appearance. I turned my head to avoid his outstretched fingers pressing down on the veil's chain with my hand. My voice somewhat cold. "No need." Lu Han was momentarily taken aback by my aloof expression, but quickly spoke again. "Honey, your husband truly doesn't care about your appearance. In my heart you are the most beautiful. It breaks my heart to see you cry like this. Let me apply the medicine for you, okay?" After I got injured, Lu Han would always personally apply the medicine for me. To show that he didn't despise me in the slightest, it was only in the past 2 months that I insisted on applying the medicine myself, to give him a surprise, which is why he didn't know about my recovery progress. As I looked at his deeply affectionate expression, all I felt in my heart was boundless irony. Today I went to the wedding house as soon as I brought up the topic. Lu Han's expression instantly filled with tension. "You went to the wedding house? When did you go? You didn't see anything. What should be seen and what shouldn't have been seen?" I had already seen it all far too clearly, looking at his nervous eyes. I remained silent for a few seconds before slowly shaking my head. Lu Han visibly relaxed, placing an arm around my shoulder as he carefully instructed, "Nyan Yen, wherever you want to go in the future, just tell me, and I'll go with you. Don't worry, no matter how busy I am, I'll make time. Nothing is more important than you in the future. What a pity we won't have a future anymore." Lu Han's eyes were filled with sincerity, yet it was unclear how much of his own words he truly believed. Was he really going to keep me company, or was he worried I might uncover something? Seeing my expression soften, Lu Han added, "Let me pour you a glass of milk. Drink it obediently and you'll sleep more soundly." Noticing the flicker in his gaze, I didn't refuse again. Luan quickly brought up a glass of milk and watched as I drank it in front of him. Only then did he feel reassured and took the empty glass downstairs as soon as he left. I immediately went to the bathroom and forced myself to vomit the milk. I lay on the bed pretending to be asleep. I wanted to see what he was really up to. By insisting I drink that glass of milk, before long my door was opened, and I instinctively felt a chill run down my spine. Then the intimate sounds of heavy breathing between a man and a woman suddenly reached my ears. "Hai Chuan, be gentle. It wouldn't be good if we wake up Nyan Yen. Don't worry, she drank milk earlier. Right now you couldn't wake her even if you shouted." I opened my eyes in disbelief. Lu Han actually carried Shinini straight into our bedroom and pinned her down on the windowsill just a meter away from me. Shinina's clothes were nearly torn off as Lu Han eagerly indulged in his reckless actions on her. Seeing the tacit understanding between the two, I suddenly realized this definitely wasn't the first time they'd done this. There's probably sleeping pills in that glass of milk. No wonder every time I drank the milk handed to me by Lu Han, I always slept soundly through the night. I naively thought it was because milk had good sleep-inducing effects. The next moment Lu Han confirmed my suspicion. "Weren't you always very excited and loud in this room? Why are you so quiet today?" Lu Han spoke while increasing his force, the sound of impact growing clearer in the room. My heart was filled with sorrow and Shinzini suddenly burst into tears, overwhelmed with grievance. "I was just thinking about your uncle's engagement banquet tomorrow. Everyone in your family can attend except me. It doesn't matter whether I go or not, but our baby seems like a child that can't be seen in public." Lu Han's voice turned cold. "Nyan Yen is the one I'm going to marry. I can only take her to such occasions." Shinini cried even more sorrowfully. "I know I can't compare to her, but I can give up everything except that our child will be hidden away just like me. Besides, tomorrow is such an important day, and if you take Nyan her face, I'm afraid she might embarrass you and upset Uncle." Lu Han's eyes instantly filled with tenderness. He hugged her tightly, kissing away the tears on her cheeks, his voice softening. All right, I'll take you. Don't cry, my dear. How about a kiss from your husband? Your tears are breaking my heart." Their movements grew even more intense, and Lu Han swiftly moved Shinzini to the other side of the bed. Amidst the fierce collision and gasping breaths, my tears flowed uncontrollably. "Lu Han, after tomorrow I will become someone else's bride, and you won't have to worry about me embarrassing you anymore." After Lu Haichuan had vented enough before dawn broke, he carried Shinzini away. After he lay down and fell asleep, I got up immediately and went to our former wedding room. Lu Han didn't wake up until noon, and then he called Nian. "Why aren't you at home? Where are you?" I didn't hide it. "I'm at the wedding house. I had been looking forward to our wedding before, and always liked to come to the wedding house to decorate." Lu Han didn't think much of it. "My uncle rushed back from abroad and is preparing preparing to hold the engagement banquet tonight. There will be a lot of people. And I know you usually don't like such gatherings, so I won't take you this time. Be good. And I'll come back as soon as I'm done. My gaze swept inch by inch over the house I had personally decorated. And I asked him softly, Lu Han, what if I told you that the person your uncle is marrying is me? Before I could finish, Lu Han instinctively let out a light scoff. What status does my uncle hold? How could he possibly take a fancy to an ugly wretch like you? The moment the words left his mouth, he immediately realized his mistake and quickly corrected himself. Darling, I love you so much. You can only be my wife in this lifetime. I won't allow you to marry anyone else. He hastily hung up the phone, and I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. Lu Han, what are you? Whether you agree or not has long ceased to matter. After one last glance at the bridal chamber, I stood up and left without a trace of reluctance. The moment I stepped out, the flames behind me began to spread gradually. Back then, Lu Han was trapped in a fire, and in saving him, my face was disfigured. Now I'll return the favor with a fire burning away everything between him and me. Lu Han, from now on there's nothing left between us. I drove to the makeup studio but suddenly received several messages on my phone. The messages were sent by Shinzini. Several overly explicit intimate photos and an ultrasound report were sent together. Jen Yin, take a good look. These are all proof of how much Huan loves me. Last night Huan was so passionate with me that he didn't even notice you were awake, but I saw you trembling and crying. Hey, how did it feel watching him take me right in front of you? You heard it last night. Today at his uncle's engagement banquet, Quan is taking me, not you. And you, this ugly thing, he's too ashamed to even show you in public. Do you think his uncle will also find you embarrassing? And tell Huan to marry me instead. After all, I'm already carrying his child. The affection I once had for Lu Han vanished completely when he trampled on my self-respect without any limits. Watching Shinzina's clownish provocations, I remained utterly calm. Let's wait and see. I changed into the engagement dress airshipped by Lu Kitchen, completed my makeup, and headed to the engagement venue. Upon entering the banquet hall, the scene was already bustling with excitement. Just as I stepped into the banquet hall, I encountered Lu Haichuan walking towards me hand in hand with Shinzini. The moment he saw me, Lu Han instinctively let go of Shinzina's hand from his arm. In the next instant, his eyes lit up with delight as he took in my face. Nyan, your face has recovered. Why didn't you tell me? Nyan Yin, you're so beautiful. He rushed over, reaching out to touch my face. I immediately stepped back, looking at him coldly. Young Master Lu, please mind your manners. Lu Han looked at me in confusion and instinctively apologized. Nian, are you upset that I haven't been attentive these past few days? And didn't notice right away? Yes, it's my fault. Don't be angry, darling. Your husband is just so happy. After half a year of recuperation, my skin had become even more radiant than before. Shinini, standing nearby, was filled with envy and resentment, and she quickly stepped forward. That's wonderful, Sister Nian. Your face has recovered. Truly, good people get good rewards. I'm so happy for you, Sister Nian. As she spoke, she moved closer to me. Before she could reach me, she suddenly fell to the ground and burst into tears. Ah, Sister Nian, why did you push me? Sine just wanted to congratulate you. Are you looking down on me because I'm a servant's daughter? Do you think I'm not worthy to congratulate you? Woo brother. Hyun Sin's tummy hurts so much. Lu Huan immediately bent down, anxiously checking Shanine's condition. The next moment he turned his head and glared at me angrily. Jen and Sine just wanted to congratulate you. Why did you hurt her for no reason? Do you know she's already? Lu Han almost blurted out Shanina's pregnancy. I just looked at him mockingly. With someone backing her up? Shini cried even more pitifully. Lu Han's eyes were filled with heartache and his attitude toward me grew increasingly harsh. Jen Yin, you must apologize to Sinai right now, immediately. Otherwise our wedding will be postponed indefinitely. I can't tolerate a venomous woman like you as my wife. I gave him a mocking glance, unmoved, and turned to leave. Lu Haichuan was stunned for a moment, then immediately stood up to grab me. Don't you dare leave. Apologize to Sinai. At that very moment, exclamations of surprise erupted from the crowd. A composed figure appeared, and under everyone's gaze he walked step by step to my side. Lu Kitchen's icy gaze fell upon Lu Han as he coldly rebuked. Let me see who dares to bully my fiancé. Lu Kitchen's woman. Lu Kitchen's elegant and noble demeanor instantly captured the attention of everyone present. Is this the late-born son of the Lu family patriarch? I heard he's been abroad for years and his business empire has even surpassed the Lu family's main operations. Now the entire Lu family relies on him. Oh, love at first sight. Why did I have to meet my crush for the first time at his engagement party? Why isn't his bride me? Even Shinini, standing beside Lu Han, couldn't help but cast an admiring glance at Lu Kitchen. Her cheeks slightly flushed, revealing the infatuated look of a love-struck maiden. I looked up at Lu Kitchen, and when our eyes met I couldn't help but recall the past when we first met. Grandpa Lu and my grandfather were comrades in arms, and the two families have been very close since their generation. Lu Kitchen was Grandpa Lu's child, born in his later years only a few years older than me. Since childhood I loved clinging to him, even often joking and clamoring that I would be his bride when I grew up, but later Grandpa Lou's health declined and to take care of him, Lou Kitchen personally accompanied him abroad for treatment. From then on he stayed overseas busy with his career. The days grew long and the distance vast until we gradually lost touch. Half a year ago I was hospitalized with burns from saving Lou Han, and Lou Kitchen once appeared alone, travel worn, in my hospital room. When I heard him personally promise to marry me, my surprise was overshadowed by confusion. At that time I loved Lou Han so much I would have given my life for him. So naturally I was unwilling to remarry to another. Never did I expect that the one I deeply loved would ultimately betray me. After all these twists and turns it seems I really am going to fulfill that childhood joke, marrying Lou Kitchen and becoming his bride. Noticing the way Lou Kitchen looked at me, the other guests present couldn't help but whisper among themselves, "Isn't this the young Master Lou's fiancée? I heard she was a disfigured, ugly duckling, but she looks absolutely stunning now. Why does Lou Kitchen seem so protective of her? Could it be that he's going to marry her?" Lou Huan still hadn't grasped the situation. Facing Lou Kitchen he appeared cautious and immediately apologized. "Uncle, I'm truly sorry for causing a scene on such a joyous occasion. Whereas sister-in-law, did we upset her? I'll go with Nian right now to apologize to her in person." As he spoke he even shot me a fierce glare. Beside him Shansini also began wailing tearfully, "Uncle, don't blame Sister Nian. She's always been like this, a bit aloof by nature. And after being disfigured these past 6 months she's afraid to see people. It's normal for her to act a little strange. After all, today is an important day for you and sister-in-law, Uncle, so I won't blame Yene." She tugged at Lou Han, whimpering weakly, "Brother Huan, I'm fine now. Don't make Uncle unhappy because of me." Lou Kitchen sneered, looking at Shinini as if she were a pile of garbage. "What kind of trash are you? How dare you call me uncle? How could someone like you even show up at my engagement banquet?" Lou Kitchen's "Whoever brought her here can leave with her right now." Shinsan's legs gave way and she stumbled backward. Lou Han quickly caught her. "Uncle, Cindy's mother has been the Jen family's housekeeper for nearly 20 years. Cindy, I grew up in the Jen family and is as close to Nyan as sisters. That's why we brought her along today." "Nyan Yen, what do you say?" Lou Han spoke, still wanting to drag me into speaking up for Shinzini, trying to use me at this moment. "I'm not that easy to persuade. My parents are kind-hearted and have always looked after the children of our household staff. If every servant's child raised under the Jen family's benevolence counts as my sister, then I must have countless siblings by now." Shinzini turned pale, her gaze toward me filled with jealousy and resentment, while Lu Han also looked displeased and hurried over to pull me aside. Lou Kitchen's eyes flickered and several bodyguards immediately surrounded me, forming a protective barrier. Meanwhile Lu Haichuan, who had approached, was kicked away by Lou Kitchen. "Lu Han, what do you think you're doing? How dare you lay a hand on my woman? Nin Yen is your aunt who gave you the audacity to disrespect your elder like this." Knocked to the ground, Lu Han looked up at Lou Kitchen and finally came to his senses. He looked at me and Lou Kitchen in disbelief, his voice trembling with panic. "No, this can't be true." Shinzini, who was being held back by the bodyguards, also stared at me with wide eyes, her gaze nearly overflowing with jealousy and hatred. "This is impossible. How could Lou Kitchen possibly be interested in you?" Meanwhile Lou Kitchen simply raised his hand and snapped his fingers. My name and his appeared prominently on the large screen in the hall, along with the image of him holding me at this very moment projected onto the big screen. The entire room erupted in gasps. Once more Lu Han finally snapped out of it and rushed toward me in a panic, speaking urgently. "Nyan, there must be some mistake. You're joking, right? You're my fiancé. Why would you suddenly decide to marry my uncle instead? You were even willing to risk your life for me." I looked at him with a heart full of coldness. "You know very well that I once disfigured myself and nearly lost my life for you. But how did you treat me in return?" Lu Han seemed to realize something, his face turning deathly pale. I scoffed lightly, then gave a meaningful glance to the staff in charge of the big screen. Everything had already been arranged by me. The image on the big screen instantly switched to the surveillance footage from inside the hospital. The sound was deliberately amplified. Shinini dragged Lu Han into the hospital's ultrasound room, and the sounds they made during their intimate act, along with all the vulgar words they uttered, were clearly heard outside. "Oh my god, they're actually seeking thrills in the ultrasound room. These two are utterly shameless. How is this any different from stripping naked and doing it in broad daylight?" I heard Lu Han's mother was once the other woman who climbed into his father's bed right in the office. Honestly, both mother and son are equally shameless. Poor Miss Jen, she's a wealthy eyes who ruined her face to save him, and yet he betrays her to chase after a maid's daughter. Shinini and Lu Han were almost drowned out by the torrent of curses and accusations from the crowd. Yet Lu Han turned a deaf ear, focusing solely on rushing over to pull me aside. "Nian, I was just momentarily bewitched, led astray by her. I know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. I swear I'll never touch it again. Believe me, I swear." I had anticipated this act of his long ago and simply watched him calmly. I scoffed lightly. "Oh, so you're this innocent after all the staff member met my gaze and nodded in understanding. The scene switched back to the villa where everyone was cheering and celebrating, belittling me while congratulating themselves. Lu Han knelt down with a blissful expression to propose to Shinzaini, and the image of them embracing and kissing what was once sweet now felt utterly ironic. To think they already have a child. Looking at Shinzaini's belly, it must be at least 4 or 5 months. This must have happened while the eldest daughter of the Gen family was injured and hospitalized. His mother and his so-called good brothers actually knew about it. Truly birds of a feather flock together. What kind of person keeps what kind of company? This is just too much. My fingers were suddenly gripped tightly. I looked up to see Lu Kitchen's gaze fixed on me, filled with unmistakable heartache. I gently squeezed his hand in return, listening to the curses from those around him. Lu Han's father could no longer hold back. He rushed over and slapped Lu's mother directly across the face. How could you meddle in such matters? Have you no sense of propriety? As an elder, Nyan was disfigured for Han's sake. Lu's mother was knocked to the ground by the slap, covering her face. She glared at me with resentment. How was I supposed to know her face could be healed with her disfigured like that? It would have been so humiliating for Haichuan to marry her. She chose to save Hua herself. No one forced her. She did it willingly. It's all your fault. You're the one who embarrassed my son, and now you're trying to ruin him. As she spoke, she rushed over, intent on hitting me. Lu Han quickly stepped in, pushing her away, and anxiously tried to explain to me, Nian, you've got it all wrong. The baby in Shinine's belly isn't mine. It's just some bastard child, nothing to do with me. She's been fooling around with others and doesn't even know who the father is. I only took responsibility out of pity for her. If you don't believe me, I'll take her to get an abortion right now. The only one I love is you, Nian. Lu's shamelessness has truly exceeded the bottom line of my moral compass. He lunged forward to grab me, but I took a timely step back, avoiding his touch. I stared at him calmly. Then what about last night? Did she also beg you to slip me sleeping pills so you could take advantage of my unconscious state and mess around with her right beside my bed? Lu Huan's lips moved slightly, but he could find no excuse. The color drained completely from his face. Were you awake all last night, Ningyan? I'm sorry, I truly am. She's just a cheap woman who threw herself at me. I only used her to satisfy my needs, just a casual release, nothing more. You're the only one I've ever loved, the only one I want to marry. Shini beside him, upon hearing his extremely insulting words, finally couldn't hold back and reached out to pull at him. Lu Han, I never forced you to sleep with me. How could you? Before she could finish her sentence, Lu Han pushed her away, this time without any prompting from me. The staff automatically switched the content on the big screen. All the transfers my family made to support Shinzaini over the years, along with the provocative messages she sent me, were all displayed. The onlookers at the scene were furious to the extreme. What a truly ungrateful wretch, relying on the Gen family's support to attend good high schools and universities and using their connections to land a job at a major company, yet she still dares to steal someone's fiancé. Greed knows no bounds. This kind of person is utterly despicable. We must expose all her information and let everyone see her true colors. Shini looked aggrieved, still trying to play the victim to gain sympathy. But Lu Huan slapped her to the ground with a single blow. Who do you think you are? I was just playing with you and you dared to provoke Nyan Yen. Do you have a death wish? Unable to contain his anger, he rushed over and slapped Shinzaini twice more viciously, then turned to look at me. Nyan Yen, give me another chance. Let's skip the engagement. Well, get married directly. I'll marry you. I swear I'll never change my heart in this lifetime. I chuckled lightly. Lu Han, you're a rotten piece of filth through and through. Do you really think your words hold any credibility? Besides, I've already found someone 1,000 times better than you. From now on you can call me auntie. I gently raised our intertwined hands, fingers laced tightly with Lu Kitchen's. Lu Kitchen looked at me tenderly. Mrs. Lu, it's about time. The rest is our moment. Beside us, Luan went mad. No, you can't, Nyan, you can't marry him. However, before he could get close to me, Lu Kitchen's bodyguards immediately pinned him down to the ground, leaving him no choice but to glare at us in frustration. All the troublemakers were escorted out of the venue. Lu Kitchen and I stepped onto the stage, exchanging engagement rings amidst the witnesses and blessings of everyone present. Despite the tenderness in Lu Kitchen's gaze, I couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt in my heart. Lu Kitchen, I'm sorry. Today was supposed to be our wonderful engagement banquet, but because of these irrelevant people, I've turned it into such a mess. Lu Kitchen gently wrapped his arm around my waist. Nyan, you never need to apologize to me. I only regret not being able to return sooner, making you endure so much injustice. His scent was pleasant and his broad chest gave me an immense sense of security. Looking at his gentle demeanor, I couldn't help but voice the doubt in my heart. Lu Kitchen, why were you willing to marry me, whether it was half a year ago or now? Back then my face was disfigured. Marrying me meant marrying what others saw as a monster, and now, because of the matters between me and Lu Han, he has also been dragged into the center of public opinion. Lu Kitchen chuckled lightly. Have you forgotten you once said that when you grew up you would be my bride? And my response at the time was, okay, I'll wait for you, Nyan. I'm also very sorry. Back then, in order to treat my father's illness, I accompanied him abroad and couldn't stay by your side to watch you grow up. I was also too busy with work to keep in touch with you. I had already fallen for you back then. I worked hard striving to grow into someone worthy of taking care of you for a lifetime. But I never expected that by the time I was ready to return home might hear about you in Haichuan. Where there's persistent longing, there's bound to be an echo. After all these years, I finally married my beloved little bride as I wished. I looked at him, both shocked and deeply moved. Childhood jokes and lightly made promises, he had never forgotten them and had been waiting for me all along. Just as I was deeply moved, someone approached with a wine glass in hand. I looked at him and exclaimed, "Dr. Wang." He was the chief surgeon who performed my operation. It was thanks to his exceptional medical skills that my face was able to recover. Dr. Wang gave me a light smile and a nod before going to toast Lu Kitchen, teasing him with a laugh. "President Lu, congratulations on finally getting what you wished for." The two clinked glasses with smiles. Clearly already acquainted, I realized something and looked at Lu Kitchen in disbelief. Dr. Wang is an internationally renowned physician who was recruited by the hospital from abroad 2 months ago, and I happened to be his first patient. As if sensing my confusion, Dr. Wang proactively explained to me, "Miss Jen, our team had been developing overseas before. It was Mr. Lu's repeated sincere invitations that moved us, which is why we decided to return to our home country." I was so touched that tears welled up in my eyes. Lu Kitchen gently held me tenderly and carefully wiping away my tears. "Nyan Yen, don't cry. I shouldn't have left just because you rejected me. I should have stayed by your side all along." The moment I was gently embraced by Lu Kitchen, the feeling of being cherished made me unable to hold back my tears, which flowed even more fiercely. I hugged him tightly. "In return, I'm happy." Lu Kitchen gently kissed my forehead, then hesitated before speaking. "Nyan, there's actually one more thing I haven't had the chance to tell you. The fire at the Lu family back then was suspicious. I've been secretly investigating the incident all these years, and I also discovered Lu Han's affair. I've uncovered the truth about what happened that year. Do you still want to know?" I looked at him in unconcealed astonishment. "Are you saying the fire wasn't an accident?" Lu Kitchen shook his head under my disbelieving gaze. I gasped, "I want to know." "That was a fire that nearly took my life." Just as Lu Kitchen was about to speak, a bodyguard suddenly rushed in. "Sir, Madam, young Master Lu is causing a scene outside. If we let him continue like this, someone might get seriously hurt." Lu Kitchen looked at me. "Shall we go together?" I nodded firmly. Lu Kitchen turned his gaze outside the banquet hall, his eyes turning cold. "It's time to settle all accounts." I arrived at the courtyard outside the banquet hall with Lu Kitchen. Sheenie was knocked to the ground, lying in a pool of her own blood, yet Lu Han, still consumed by rage, continued to kick her abdomen like a madman, his eyes bloodshot with fury. "It's all because of you and this bastard child. Just die. It's all your fault for seducing me. It's your fault, all your fault. You made me lose. Nyan, die, just die." Lu's mother cried as she tried to pull Lu Han aside, but he shoved her away. Lu's mother fell to the ground wailing, "My dear grandson, don't you dare hurt my dear grandson." Lu Han turned a deaf ear until he saw me and Lu Kitchen appear. He rushed towards me like a madman. "Nyan Yen, do you see me? You're the only one I love. How could you abandon me? To prove my sincerity, I'll personally get rid of this and her bastard. Believe me, come back to me." Lu Han's madness and unfamiliarity were terrifying. I quickly hid behind Lu Kitchen. At this moment, Lu Kitchen waved his hand and the bodyguards brought over Chen Hao. Lu Huichuan's good friend Chen Hao, however, ignored his own situation and instead looked at Shin Sign lying on the ground reproachfully. Turning his gaze to Lu Huan, "Lu Haichuan, how could you treat Sinai like this? She's pregnant with your child. She's the mother of your baby." His heartbroken and almost desperate demeanor, as if he wished he could take the beating for Shinzaini, instantly caught everyone's attention. Lu Kitchen sneered, "A child from Haichuan? I'm afraid that might not be the case." Lu Kitchen waved his hand and his assistant immediately played a video clip. The footage showed Chen Ha and Shinzaini in compromising situations at various locations. Not just Chen Ha in the video, only the female lead Shinzaini remains unchanged while the male lead has been swapped out several times. I recognized several of them as Lu Han's close brothers. No wonder these people were so supportive of Shinzaini and Lu Han's affair. They were all eager for their sons to enter the Lu family's doors. Lu Han, Chen Hao and the others watched the video, their expressions particularly vivid. Obviously, they all thought they were the child's biological father. Lu Han was so furious that he pointed at Shinzaini. "You shameless woman, you have no sense of decency." Shinzi, as if gone mad, struggled to come over and turn off the video. "It's fake. This video is fake. It's all photoshopped." Lu Kitchen spoke up at the right moment. "Who the father of the child in your belly is? You probably don't even know yourself." Shinzaini screamed in despair. "Does it matter who it was? They all touched me. What did I do wrong? I just wanted to live a better life. Why were you born with everything while I'm just a servant's daughter? I only wanted to change my situation through my own efforts." Chen Ha's face turned red with rage as he glared at Shinzaini with hatred, suddenly breaking free from the bodyguard's grip. He rushed forward and grabbed her by the throat. "You lied to me. You clearly said the child was mine. You said you endured humiliation for my sake. If it weren't for you, how could I have almost been burdened with a life? It's all because of you." Shinzaini struggled desperately, trying to push him away, but she was powerless to resist. In the end, it was Lu Kitchen who noticed Shinzaini was about to pass out from suffocation, and with just a glance he signaled the bodyguard to pull Chen He away. Lu Kitchen spoke calmly. "Speak." Chen He's eyes flickered before he finally spoke. "In defeat, Shinzaini set fire to the Lu family secretly to steal Lu Han away. She planned to rescue him in the chaos, becoming his savior to secure her position. At the time, I went to find Huan for something and happened to witness it, Sheenie afraid I'd expose her tearfully stripped naked to seduce me. By the time we finished and rushed to put out the fire, it was already too big. Shinini didn't dare to go near it at all. Lu Han looked at Shinini in disbelief. What, you actually wanted to set me on fire? Seeing everything exposed, Sheenie no longer held back and burst into wild laughter. Otherwise how could I rise to power? That fool Jen Yen, upon seeing the fire and hearing you were inside, actually rushed in to save you without fear of death. I hid outside and waited until she was about to come out, then knocked her out directly. Seeing her face ruined made me so happy and relieved. She's turned into an ugly monster, and no matter how moved you are, you still can't even get out of bed because of me. Lu Han raged madly. Only then did I finally remember. After waking up, I had been too preoccupied with grieving over my disfigured face to notice. Now it occurred to me that ever since I regained consciousness in the hospital, the back of my head had been aching. At the time I thought it was just a fall or a bump, but now I realize it was Shinzini who knocked me out with something to climb the social ladder. She actually went so far as to be this insane. The group fought and cursed frenziedly, wishing they could strangle each other to death. The police arrived at the scene in time and took them all in for questioning. Shinzini was sentenced to over 10 years in prison for attempted intentional homicide. Chen Hao, as an accomplice, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Lu Han was also imprisoned for 3 years for intentional assault, completely turning against his former brothers. Lu's mother, driven mad by her son's imprisonment and the loss of her grandson, was expelled from the Lu family, and I in the end chose to let go of the past and resolutely run toward our happiness with Lu Kitchen. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great stories. We'll see you in the next video.